no going back. Hello and welcome to the October 28th Mayor's Commission for Citizens with Disabilities meeting. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. My name is Mike Masker. I'm the chairperson of the commission. We'd like to remind you all that we do replay our meetings at 7 o'clock each Tuesday evening on Cox Communications Channel 18, and video of our meetings about a month to a month and a half is available on our website at the mayor's website. You just go to the City of Omaha's website and then click on the mayor's office and commissions. Just a reminder of what we're here to do. We are here to advocate for the needs of persons in Omaha that may experience a disability. Our mission is to promote quality of life, accessibility, and equity in all aspects related to the City of Omaha on behalf of and in cooperation with the citizens of Omaha who experience disabilities. Some of the things that we help with and help advise the mayor and the city council are include things like promoting awareness to the general public on capabilities, needs, and desires of citizens with disabilities, to publicly recognize the efforts of employers, businesses, schools, organizations, and others who have demonstrated outstanding support of programs and services for disabled citizens. We also serve as advocates for accessibility issues, help implement plans and projects to improve services for citizens with disabilities. One of the things that our commission was called to do a few years ago when TD Ameritrade Park opened up, we were asked just to help come out and take a look at the layout of the park and provide any feedback for helping those with disabilities to have better access, including things like having a system for those that are either deaf or hard of hearing. So there's a number of things that have been put in place. So we do act as an advisory board and not necessarily are out there in the community. What's the word I'm looking for? What's that? No. But act more as advisors versus activists in the role that we play. So we did have a meeting last month. We had the minutes. We had a pre-meeting, I guess I should say, as we do each month. We meet at 3 o'clock here in the legislative chambers of the Omaha County Civic Center on 1819 Farnham in the legislative chambers. In our pre-meeting, we had discussion of the minutes from the last meeting. Kathy motioned to approve and Mark seconded. We did have a quorum, and so all of the old business is taken care of, I guess you'd say. One of the things that I wanted to try to do is just have a discussion around some of the community events and just current events that are happening in the city, just to spark some discussion on good things and also things that I think as a commission we need to continue to discuss and bring to the forefront. So just wanted to kind of open it up and talk about some of the maybe human interest stories that are out there from the last month. And Mark, I don't know if you had something that you wanted to share with the group. I could even start if...
Okay, hoping my microphone's on. I had the opportunity this summer. I work with parents and professionals that serve, in part of my work, serve children that are very young, birth to age 3. And one of the features of that system is that it requires that any activities that go on include family members, as in an advisory role. And we have a state council that is required to include 20% family representatives. And they serve just right alongside the professionals in developing systems of support and services for families and infants and toddlers with intellectual and developmental disabilities and developmental delays. One of the things that occurred this summer, not too long ago, was that 4 of our parents were honored at a national conference for their leadership in providing support to our early intervention system, which was a really nice honor. And the the group of parents, I can attest, are very active and very supportive of high-quality services for people, for infants and toddlers with disabilities, but in particular their families. And they're also involved in their local communities. It was just really a pleasure. One of the parents was able to travel out to Washington, D.C. for the conference and was able to receive the award from the National Infant and Toddler Coordinators Association. So I just thought that was a really nice recognition for the work that goes on. As some of the here in Omaha, as some of the parents were from Omaha as well as across the state.
I wanted to add a story that was in the UNMC, the Med Center's newsletter. This is near and dear to Mark because it came out of his area. But Monroe Meyer serves kids with physical and intellectual and developmental disabilities, and some of their physical therapists and occupational therapists took it on themselves to help to kind of trick out kids' electric little power cars. When you look at the cost of a power wheelchair, literally the cost can be anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000. And what the therapist set out to do was take these inexpensive electric cars and outfit them for kids with disabilities. So it was just kind of a neat story. Literally for $90 plus a few supplies to help modify the cars, they were able to get some of these kids who have never controlled a device on their own to be able to have some independence. And the story's kind of funny. There was I think a kid that was maybe not even 2 years old. The first time that that he got into the car, it was a little scary, and of course there were some tears, but once they figured it out, it was kind of a thrill for these kids to be able to do that and just experience that independence. So, which is really what I think all of us are here to do, is help promote independence for people that have disabilities. So just kind of a neat story, and kudos to the therapist at Monroe Meyer for for having that insight and that just that passion for what they do, and I think that's kind of neat. So I don't know if Amanda, if you had something, or Kathy, that you wanted to share, but we'll keep going to the right.
I just want to mention that at Great Plains Chapter Paralyzed Veterans of America, about a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, someone broke into the garage on our property and stole some of our lawn equipment and tools that we then found out the next morning when we showed up to work and the door was wide open and those things were missing. Jim Sidelecki with Channel 6 News came out and did a story on the break-in and the burglary, and just wanted to share that we've had incredible outpouring of support from the community, people calling already and wanting to donate some of those items that we lost back to us, which it's just a very heartwarming, wonderful thing to come out of something so negative. So I just wanted to share that, and we're very appreciative for the community support. If anybody is interested in calling and learning more about that, or if you have something extra lying around that you'd like to see if we need and want to donate, you can call us at 402-398-1422. Thanks.
Okay. Very good. So that's kind of a new little twist on our meetings. We're just trying to share some positive stories and some community interest, just to kind of mix things up a little bit and spark some conversation. So, again, just a reminder that our meetings are broadcast or rebroadcast at 7 o'clock each Tuesday on Cox Channel 18. And one of the things that we do feature with each of our meetings, and we'll have Ann come up now, we do feature a speaker to provide some information on services and opportunities for folks in the community, whether it's a organization that serves those with disabilities or opportunities for you to get involved. But we'd like to introduce Ann Mancini. She's the Executive Director of the Down Syndrome Alliance of the Midlands. Welcome, Ann. It's great to have you here with us, and I know October is a particularly special month for you and your organization.
It is. It's Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and we've been celebrating all month long. So thanks for having us come out and talk to you today. What you'll be looking at, hopefully here, is photos from the buddy walk that we just had a couple of weeks ago, and so I hope you enjoy looking at those for a few minutes. Just to start off and let everybody know a little bit about Down syndrome, which is also known as trisomy 21. It occurs when there is a third copy of the 21st chromosome. And this extra genetic material causes the characteristics of Down syndrome, such as the physical characteristics as well as the cognitive disabilities that are often noted. There are 3 forms of Down syndrome, and all of them will cause some or a little bit of the same characteristics, but at any rate, generally speaking, there is a little bit of intellectual and developmental delays associated with the syndrome. It's the most common occurring genetic condition. 1 in every 691 babies is born with Down syndrome, and it's across all races and economic levels. So more than 400,000 people in the United States have Down syndrome, and we are here to support the families here locally who are touched by Down syndrome. So in 1999, the Down Syndrome Alliance was founded as the Omaha Down Syndrome Parents Network. It was founded by a handful of parents who felt a need to associate more closely with other parents of children with Down syndrome. And over the years, this small kitchen table organization eventually grew to develop a board and wrote a mission statement. And our mission is to enhance the lives of individuals and families touched by Down syndrome. Our primary focus areas at the Down Syndrome Alliance of the Midlands are parent outreach, medical outreach, and education advocacy. So when new parents receive the diagnosis of Down syndrome, either prenatally or at birth, they're going to look for information and support. And we make an effort to place new parent resource guides, and you all have a copy of those. We place those at hospitals and physicians' offices throughout the region. But knowing that most people turn to the internet these days, in the past year we made a commitment to update our online presence from launching a dynamic new website in March to hiring some college interns to drive the social media presence with sharing news and resources via Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of fun stuff. So, and of course, this is also helpful for reaching families who are just new to the area. Google Down syndrome, Omaha, and you'll find us. So once a family contacts us, we are able to support their need for the most current healthcare practices, including guidelines to share with their physicians for neonatal and infant care. And we are also able, for those families who are ready, to provide emotional support through parent connections. We have moms group, grandparents group, and we partner with the local dads organization. It's Dads Appreciating Down Syndrome. They have a local chapter, and so it's for the dads to meet other men raising children with Down syndrome. So when people hear about us or see us out, it looks like we're pretty much about having fun, and we do have fun. We have a lot of fun because we love to foster relationships within our membership, and so that's why we orchestrate trips to museums and symphonies. We arrange toddler play dates. We have parties just for siblings to celebrate the help that they provide in their families. We do family movies, swim parties, all sorts of fun things, and support the parents with a special dinner out in February. So we do have a lot of fun, but it's really about getting everyone together, forging those connections and lifelong friendships that develop. Our medical outreach program is dedicated to arming healthcare professionals with the most current guidelines for prenatal, infant, pediatric, and adult care for individuals with Down syndrome. We regularly give presentations at grand rounds, resident in-services, and nurses' continuing education seminars. And often we are educating doctors on how to deliver the news of a diagnosis of Down syndrome, moving the approach from, I have some bad news for you, to a more neutral delivery of the diagnosis. And we encourage nurses to see newborns with Down syndrome as babies first. And that we know from parents that they just want to hear, what a beautiful baby, and they want you to hold the baby and just interact instead of saying, I'm so sorry, or worse, not saying anything at all. So those are the kind of things we share with healthcare professionals so that it enhances the lives of our families. And through our education advocacy program, we have advocates working hand in hand with community schools to improve educational opportunities for our children. And at our biannual advocacy conference and smaller presentations throughout the year, we enlist the aid of various experts and service providers to help our parents navigate the course of caring for a child with Down syndrome, from learning about IEPs to transition and the latest developments in assistive technology to current philosophies on inclusive education. So we try to make sure that we have plenty of opportunities for parents to learn about those. And I've given you a sample of one way we reach out for advocacy, and that is a beautifully reprinted copy of Kathy Snow's article on People First Language. We don't all come to the table knowing the proper language to use when speaking about a loved one with a disability. So it's our job to educate the community on the language we want them to use, such as a child with Down syndrome as opposed to a Downs baby. So that's another way we try to educate the community that in a way that will enhance the lives of our families. And so you've been viewing photos from the Buddy Walk that we just had on October 12th, and the mayor can tell you it was a big, gorgeous event because she was there. Thank you. And so apart from being our favorite day of the year and a big celebration of our families and our kids, it is our largest annual fundraiser. And we raised over $110,000 this year. And it's also an essential platform for bringing the community together to raise awareness of Down syndrome. And it serves as a portal for disseminating a positive message and inspirational stories from the Down syndrome community to the general public. And it ignites a new way of thinking about people with Down syndrome. So, to sum it all up, we're here to support our families, to enhance their lives, to enhance the lives of their children, and to educate the community that we all live in, and want to make it a really good place for our kids and for really all kids with disabilities. So thank you for letting me come tell you about that.
Yeah, it's great information. I love the pictures. Just seeing the happy kids, and it's hard not to smile when you see how cute these kids are and how much fun they're having. So it's fun is our favorite thing to have.
Mine too. And you'll see too that there are photos of the volunteers who come out from Offutt and from the local universities. We have great support, not only at Buddy Walk but through the year from volunteers in the community.
Yeah, it's great.
Are there any charges to families for any of the services that you provide?
No. Occasionally we'll do something fun and that, it might cost a little bit, but we generally at least subsidize the cost and pay for at least the child with Down syndrome, and usually a chaperone. And those are just for the social events. When we do have a conference, there's usually a very minimal fee to come to that. So, and no charge for joining. There's absolutely and no requirement for fundraising or anything like that.
So how many folks did you get out to the Buddy Walk?
Oh, over 3,000. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, this was our first year at Stinson Park, and with the beautiful weather and the larger venue, we saw a lot more people come out this year.
That's great.
Yep, it was wonderful.
And how do you, I know you mentioned the enhanced website, and are there other ways that you try to get the word out, and how do you engage new folks?
Well, we do have new parent orientations a couple times a year, so we'll get usually parents of newborns, expectant parents, and sometimes parents just new to the community, and we'll try to share with them some of the resources available throughout the community, not just from us. And then as far as outreach, we're really pushing online. We are also affiliates of the National Down Syndrome Society and the National Down Syndrome Congress. And we also are an affiliate of a group called the Down Syndrome Affiliates in Action. So that helps us to get the word out too.
The dads, the dads group or the association. You mentioned there's a local chapter. Is that a national group as well?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do folks get involved in that if they're interested?
In dads?
Yeah.
They are also online. You can best find them at their website or even on their Facebook page.
Okay.
And they meet once a month. The dads have a fun Thursday night. I believe it's the third Thursday of the month. But you can get in touch with them through their website, or you can contact us through DSA's website, and we will pass that along.
Very good. Yeah, I love the all the social media connections too, because it really is how people find find information like groups that they maybe may have an interest in being a part of, and
right.
It is the way of the world. So
right, and there's the perception that most of the families having babies with Down syndrome are older moms, but in truth, most of the parents are young, because that's who's having the most babies, and so obviously this is how they want to be reached and how they want to communicate. They have a very active moms site, a Facebook group, and it's closed, so they can talk about everything they want to. And for moms who want to just communicate that way, or moms who are way outside of the Omaha area, they can be part of a group if they don't enjoy coming to coffees and things like that. They still have that support.
Well, you mentioned just the numbers. I mean, 1 in under 700 are